Do you know of Sri Ramakrishna? Sri Ramakrishna was the guru or the spiritual guru of Swami Vivekananda. Now, from the end of 1885 to the middle of 1886, Sri Ramakrishna had come to stay in a garden house in Kosipur or Kashipur in Kolkata. Actually, during those days, Sri Ramakrishna was facing some health issues. He was not fully healthy and he was not fully well. So, according to the advices of the physicians and the requests of his disciples and devotees, he had agreed to come and stay in that garden house in Kosipur in Kolkata. Now, there also many devotees and many disciples used to gather. They wanted to meet him, they wanted to listen to his words, they wanted to gain some advices from him. Now, Sri Ramakrishna used to meet the devotees and disciples, but due to his poor health condition, he used to cut off some time from his regular meetings. Many people used to come and wait for a long time because while speaking to the devotees and disciples, if Sri Ramakrishna felt he was feeling some unwell, he used to leave that place and have some rest in the other room. On one such day, when some devotees and disciples were sitting in front of him and he was talking to them, he felt a sudden discomfort within his body. He was feeling a sort of pain in his chest and he was feeling some difficulty in breathing. And due to difficulty in breathing, he could not speak also. Now, the devotees and the disciples who were sitting there, they were alarmed. They immediately asked him whether they should call a doctor or they should take him to a hospital, etc. etc. But Sri Ramakrishna stopped them. He was feeling some difficulty in talking, so he made some hand gestures and told them to come closer to him. So they went closer to him and they asked him, "What can we do for you? How are you feeling now?" Sri Ramakrishna said, "I am not feeling well. I am feeling a pain inside my chest and cannot breathe well." So the devotees told him to leave that seat and go to the other room and take some rest by lying down on a bed. Sri Ramakrishna agreed. He told them to wait for some time and he went to the other room. Now there was a bed and he laid down on that bed. After some time, the discomfort he was feeling inside his body increased. Now, when Sri Ramakrishna entered the other room, some of his disciples and devotees also followed him and they were sitting beside the bed on which he was lying down. Now, Sri Ramakrishna made some hand gestures again and told them to come closer to him. Now, they went closer to him, and now because he was facing some difficulty in talking, they brought their ears closer to his mouth and Sri Ramakrishna whispered into their ears, "I am not feeling much well. I feel like leaving this body. The pain inside my chest is gradually increasing and I am not able to breathe properly." So the devotees again asked him, "Shall we go and call the doctor nearby?" Sri Ramakrishna again stopped them. Now the devotees were in such a state of confusion. They could not understand what was running inside their guru's mind because they thought a doctor in this time of crisis would come as a help, but he was stopping them to bring him. So they waited quietly, but Inside, they were becoming very impatient. Now, Sri Ramakrishna closed his eyes and he went into a meditative state or a state of samadhi. He stayed like that for some moments, and after some moments, he came back from his meditative state. Now, after coming back from his meditative state, he summoned some devotees and told them, please go out of this room and see whether any person is sitting on the grass in the garden. Now, the devotees were puzzled. They thought, now what kind of joke this is? They thought, now what kind of an order this is? He was not feeling well. Instead of calling a doctor, he is asking us to go and see whether any person is sitting on the grasses in his garden. But still, he was their guru and they worshipped him like a god. So they couldn't turn down his order and they went outside his room, and from the balcony they searched whether really anyone was sitting on the grasses. After searching a bit, they found out that really there was a man sitting far away near the main gate on the grasses in the garden. They came back and told Sri Ramakrishna, yes, you are right. There is really one person sitting on the grasses in your garden. Now Sri Ramakrishna said, go immediately and tell that man to come up from the grasses, because he has sat on a little plant, and due to his heavy weight, the little plant is facing so much difficulties. It is not able to take normal breath. It is feeling some pain inside him, and I can feel its pain inside me. So please go immediately and tell that person to come up from that plant. So these devotees rushed. They ran towards the main gate and told that person to stand up. Now that person was not much convinced. He asked them, now what is the problem if I sit here and take some rest? Now the devotees told him, sir, there is actually no problem of you sitting here on the grass, but you have sat on a plant by mistake, and that plant is facing some difficulties due to your heavy weight upon it, and that difficulty of its is being felt by Sri Ramakrishna inside, and he is becoming sick. So please stand up and come with us. Now this man felt very ashamed. He apologized to them and stood up from his sitting position. Now he noticed that really there was a plant under him. Now Sri Ramakrishna's devotees took that man inside the house and took him to Sri Ramakrishna. They saw that now Sri Ramakrishna is feeling little well, and from a position of lying down, he sat up. Now he felt the pain inside his chest is gradually decreasing, and now gradually he is able to take normal breath. Now after some time, when Sri Ramakrishna felt fully well, he smiled towards the gathered devotees and disciples and to that man and told them, see, this person was sitting on a plant in that garden. Due to his heavy weight, that plant was facing so much difficulties, that plant was feeling so much pain, and I was feeling its pain inside me. Now due to the blessings of Goddess Kali, Ma Bhavatarini, I can feel whole universe, whole creation inside me. The pain, the misery or the cries of that little plant was vibrating inside me. And now, when this man has stood up from that plant, go and see that plant is smiling. It is rejuvenating. So, I am also feeling well. Now, if we continue doing our sadhana or our spiritual practices in a very disciplined and very devoted manner, then after some time we can enter into ourselves in such a depth that we can feel the whole universe, whole creation within ourselves. Now, here also in this story, Sri Ramakrishna, due to the blessings of goddess Kali and due to his own spiritual practices or sadhana, reached to that point inside him where he could feel the whole universe, whole creation vibrating within him.